Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another tech review. Today, we're going to be talking about the AMD Ryzen 7 5700X processor, and whether it's worth upgrading to for your gaming and productivity needs. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk a little bit about what makes the Ryzen 7 5700X special. This processor is part of AMD's Ryzen 5000 series, which is based on the company's Zen 3 architecture. This means that it's built on a 7nm process and features a new chipset design that allows for better performance and efficiency. So, what kind of performance can you expect from the Ryzen 7 5700X? In fact, this processor is one of the best on the market right now when it comes to multi-core performance. In our benchmarks, it outperformed the Intel Core i7-10700K in both Cinebench and Geekbench, which are two popular benchmarking tools used to test CPU performance. But, what about gaming performance? After all, most people buy a new processor for its gaming capabilities, right? Well, the Ryzen 7 5700X is no slouch in this department either. In fact, in our gaming benchmarks, it outperformed the Intel Core i9-10900K in several games, including Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Of course, there are a few things to keep in mind when it comes to gaming performance. First, your graphics card is going to be the bottleneck in most cases. So if you have a lower-end graphics card, you may not see as big of a performance increase as someone with a high-end GPU. Second, some games are more CPU-bound than others, so you may see bigger gains in certain titles than you do in others. But, overall, we were very impressed with the Ryzen 7 5700X's gaming performance, and we think it's a great choice for anyone looking to upgrade their CPU for gaming purposes. Now, let's talk about some of the other features of the Ryzen 7 5700X. One thing that's worth noting is that this processor doesn't come with an integrated GPU, so you will need a dedicated graphics card to use it. However, this is pretty standard for most high-end CPUs these days, so it's not really a big deal. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Ryzen 7 5700X does not come with a stock cooler. This means that you'll need to buy a separate cooler if you don't already have one. However, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, as most aftermarket coolers will offer better performance than the stock cooler anyway. So, what's the verdict? Is the Ryzen 7 5700X worth upgrading to? Well, it really depends on your specific needs. Then the Ryzen 7 5700X is definitely worth considering. Its multi-core performance is among the best on the market, and it will make a noticeable difference in these types of workloads. On the other hand, if you're someone who primarily uses their PC for gaming, you'll likely still see some performance gains, but they may not be as significant as they would be for someone with an older or lower-end CPU. Overall, we were very impressed with the Ryzen 7 5700,